Then we can have, in case Susan wants to look back on it, then she'll have reference to the practice. So, yeah, so standing with feet hip distance apart or a little bit more, hand on the heart, eyes closed, connecting to the breath. So, feeling the movement of the breath. And then as you're here, see if you can recall a time, a time maybe when you felt um, kind of full or whole. It's a time period in your life. Maybe it's with somebody, maybe in some environment, just when you feel full, complete. And I'm thinking about the amount of time that we spend in that place. How often do we feel that way? And that the difference between these two, it could point us towards longing, this kind of sacred longing that we're talking about. I'm going to give just a little bit of movement here. So you can just give a real gentle bend into the knee, let the chin come down towards the chest. And then as you inhale, straighten the legs and lift up through the spine. So there's almost like this little wave happening as we bend the knees, let the chin come down towards the chest. And then as you inhale, stand tall, lift up through the spine. Just continue. Again, if you feel fatigued, feel free to sit for this as well. But if it feels okay in the legs, to give a little bit of this movement. Kind of gentle movement. Just allow the body to come into the attention. So, feeling what we feel. Great. And then we can add a little bit of arm movement here. So as the knees bend, the hands could be heart. You can stabilize with one hand if you need to. And then as you inhale, either both hands or one hand opens wide. And then as we exhale, hands come back to the heart. We can round in. So again, we're looking for this kind of expansion, inhaling. You might take a few breaths, just exploring the movement between these two. Going slow. So then from here, take the hands just out in front of you. Let maybe one palm be on top of the other and let the eyes rest to the palms so that you're seeing your hands. And as you're seeing the hands, see what you can sense of the hands as well. Maybe you can feel a certain kind of liveliness in the hands. And then we're going to use the hands, so we're going to lift. We can bring the palms together, let the hands lift over the head. And then we use the hands to come down the front of the body. So this is a gesture to bring energy down low, right? So oftentimes we're spending lots of time in the head space. When you're ready, inhale, lift the hands back up, or you can take a few breaths. And this is this kind of gesture of washing the energy down, down into the body. You might take the hands, wash them over the head, down the front of the face, down through the heart space, down into the belly, down into the pelvis, down into the feet. And just a few more breaths like that. Movements like that. Little moving meditation. Mhm. And then go ahead and take the hands, slide the hands to the low back, let the elbows point a little bit back behind, let the chin come down towards the heart space, and then lift through the heart, and maybe lean back to whatever degree feels okay in your body. And then lead with the heart and come forward. So Brian, you might just come forward a little. Susan, you might slide the hands down the legs and feel all the way down the legs into a forward fold. Slide the hands up the legs. We'll take the hands all the way back onto the low back. Press down through the low back as we lift up through the heart. Strong, straight legs. Breathe forward with the heart. We'll fold as far as feels okay. Yeah, you can use the hands on the legs to support. Just feeling into the body. Right, so the body is going to be this kind of access point in towards understanding, right, the longings and this distinction that we have about, right, the longings of kind of this material plane, which can often feel maybe a little bit more egotistical, a little bit less like they're going to guide us in the direction that's good for us, good for all, good for connection, good for belonging. And then there's the discernment in the body that we can find through practice. And it's through bringing sensitivity into the body. Just a few more times. moving between these two. So we're playing a little bit with kind of rounding the spine forward, folding forward. And drawing the hands to the back body and lifting the heart. And then pause. Feel feet on earth. Turn the palms forward. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Maybe look up towards the thumbs. Draw the thumbs together into the forehead. Let the thumbs rest on the forehead. And folding forward once again. So this next portion, I think, Brian, if you can come to the bed for Susan and I, we could stay standing, I think. So Susan, you're always welcome to sit down too if you'd like. You can go ahead and sit, and Susan and I, we can fold forward. You can even bend the knees, let the belly come between the thighs, turn the palms up, let yourself fold all the way in. And then let's go ahead and we'll come down onto the feet. Brian, you can stay seated because what we'll do is we'll come upright with the spine, hands on the thighs, pull the shoulders back once again, lift up through the heart. And then press the hands forward along the thighs and round forward. So again, we're finding still this moving meditation, rocking between these two expressions of the spine. When you lift the heart and lean back, maybe let the chin stay down towards the heart. We'll go ahead and reach forward. So Brian, you could just reach into the air. Susan and I, we can come lifting the hips and bowing the heart down. So Brian, you could reach up into the air and take the arms all the way overhead. Spread the fingers either way. So if your arms are overhead in the air on the ground, if your hands are on the ground, draw the heart down towards the ground. Let that heart space open. You might take a few breaths, kind of lifting through the heart and exhaling, releasing the heart downwards. And then you can release the hands down, the hands are overhead. If your hands are on the ground, we'll come all the way back up to Vajrasana, which is sitting on the heels, if that feels okay in your body. Yeah, good. And already here, let's come back, putting one hand on the heart and then the other hand right on top of there. And just with a little bit of movement in the body, movement in the breath. So you already feel a little bit more connected to the sensations in the body. There's more available. Maybe yes, maybe no. And as you have your hands in this heart space, if you can let go of the thinking part of things and feel, so sense. Then you might plant the seed of a question. And the question would be, what am I longing for? What am I longing for? The question might be clear and apparent. Well, the answer to the question might be clear and apparent. The answer to the question might be vague, cloudy, unclear. You might, instead of recognize what you're longing for, you might recognize contentment instead, or some combination. And so from here, we're gonna come down onto the belly. So for Brian, if you could maybe come onto the bed and lay face down and have some places that some space so you can move into. For Susan and I, we can kind of lay ourselves down here and bring the forehead down onto the hands. So first we're going to start in this place where we allow the belly to open downwards towards the earth. And we put our heart also in a different position so that we can feel the heart space in relation to gravity a little bit differently. And then from here, it's okay to come up onto the elbows and let the head and the chest rest downwards so the back of the neck is soft. You might rock the head a little bit side to side. You can rock the shoulders a little side to side. Keep the head and the chest down. See if you can even move the shoulder blades a little closer towards each other, and then lift everything back up. Maybe even drawing the gaze a little bit more forward. Kind of stay in your moving meditation, so letting the head and the chest sink down. Lifting back up. So the teacher said recently, don't push the river. Push the river, right? So our willingness to come and meet this life force energy as it is. As it is. And enter into the stream of things. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the ground and we'll bend the knees. And we're gonna let the feet go over to one side and then over to the other. And the head, the gaze kind of comes in the opposite direction of the feet. You're just gonna find any kind of movement that feels good here. And then you might stay here, just like this, little rocking side to side. Could be slow, like the movement of the tides. You could potentially take the knees a little bit wider by walking them up and letting the soles of the feet come towards each other. You might rest the head on the hands, and you can play with bringing the feet a little further away from you and a little bit closer in. So in this position, the knees would be a little bit wider. And then you might take the feet with the knees wide in these kind of big circles. Oh, the shoulders, the chest, the hips. And these are all places where uh, longing can be uncovered. Right? The body is this, you know, the book, The Molecule of Emotions, right? That where this kind of ever-changing, flowing physical expression of something much more. We have this tendency, unfortunately, to get locked up. So adding these movements. Mm-hmm. And bring the feet back together if you're here with me. Once again, use the hands and lift up and shift a little side to side. And you might even find this kind of where you can lift up and look over and lower back down to the other side. It's not quite like a figure eight shape. Go ahead and release. Release the hands forward. Come back up onto the elbows. Bring the palms together and the forehead to the thumbs. Maybe feel a few breaths here. So just the movement of the breath and any kind of pressure on the forehead, particularly this place right between the eyebrows. And that you can allow that pressure to soften the forehead, soften the head, soften deep into the head. Center of the skull softens. Mhm. And give a little massage to the forehead. Take the thumbs across the forehead, all the way to the temples. And you can give just a little rub of the temples with the fingers. And then we're going to come onto our backs from here. So you can stay just where you are, but just roll right over. And the feet can be on the ground or the bed. Just pause and feel. Let's come just windshield wipering the knees. So you can take the arms really wide and the feet really wide. And once again, the goal for today is to think about the way the tide moves and take that into your own experience of movement. There's something really luxurious and sweet about allowing movement that's fine, delicate, slow, mindful, considered, exploratory. Yeah. And so this is a type of movement that you could stick with if you'd like to stay here. You could stay here and have this just be a moving meditation, watching how sensations change as the wave of the tide comes in. Otherwise, keep going with rolling. So if you, the direction that you rolled, keep rolling. Take the right arm, no, well, go in the same direction. Take that arm overhead, roll back onto your belly. We're gonna do a couple rolls here. So it's kind of good to use the muscles, use the body. We'll do this one together. So we'll let the right knee come up a little further on the ground. And then take the left arm long overhead. So you're really reaching from like deep in the armpit. And you can take the right hand down in front of you, in front of the chest, and start to push so that you're starting to roll again onto your side, but you just come onto the side instead of the back. The right knee is up about hip height. And then you can take your right hand to your head, to your heart, to your belly. And as you inhale, you're just going to inhale a little bit open. And as you exhale, you might see I can do this little curl in. It's a little bit kind of like how we started when we were letting the chin come down towards the chest. And then as I inhale, I can open. Right? And again, this is really just what's suited in your body. So for each of us, it should be different, right? The blueprint that's coming from the causal body, it should be. The movement should look different in each one of our bodies. lost one of my earbuds. Here we go. We're back. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and opening out to any kind of twist feels good. You can lift and lower the knee. Almost like drawing circles with the big toe. And then we'll roll again back onto the belly. So maybe make the movements interesting, see if you can find length, see if you can find support. Find your way back onto the belly. Take forehead to forearms. So this is Puranam, prostration, full prostration. So this is an offering. An offering of the selves that we present to the world, the front body. Offering that down to the depths of the earth. Watching the breath as the tide washing through. And reach. Right arm long, left knee high, maybe up near the hip or as high as feels okay. And then we'll take the left hand just in front of the chest. So we can start to use the left hand to push us over onto the right side of our body. And at this point, taking the right arm forward might feel good. Taking the left hand to support the head and finding this little spinal movement so the head, chest rocks in, and then inhale and open up through the left shoulder. And this is definitely to your own exploration. You can continue with the movement. You could open up into a twist. And find stillness. And lift the knee a little higher. And then a little lower. So you're kind of dragging the foot just a little higher, up the mat or the bed and down again. You might even take some circles. And we'll roll again back onto the belly. So finding your way there, back to our Puranam, right? The full prostration. So if it feels good to have arms long, you can have arms long with forehead down. If you want hands on or head on the hands. The spirit of offering. Yeah, often hopefully. Mhm. And then let's make it back onto our bellies. I mean, excuse me, our backs. And this time we're going to stay here. So find your way onto your back and then coming into any position that feels comfortable. So if you'd like to have the head supported, you could have the head supported. If you'd like to be resting on the ground, we're going to have a meditation here lying down. So um, the offer is to be in a place where the spine can have its length, right? But that the body can feel relaxed and supported at the same time. And offer for you to have maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly as a gesture of listening. So, listening. See if you can connect to the rhythm of the breath. So, one of the things that yoga teaches us is that we are rhythm, right? We are seasons. There is a certain beat, a certain pace born in our heart. Come back into this idea, maybe it's another, right? A returning back into feeling, sensing, maybe allowing a time, a memory to come of when you felt completely at peace or completely at home. If you've experienced a sense of wholeness, and just wondering when in our life we feel that way. How often do we feel that way? And then this question as a bija, as a seed that we plant, as a guiding star. What am I longing for? And see if you can allow that to be felt. Right? Oftentimes, it might start with words, and then from words, we might have a sense, we might feel the tone of longing, the tone of this desire to know what's beyond, this desire to live in what's beyond. See if you can get to this sense of longing. And what if longing could be an intelligent guide? In the Isha Upanishad, we hear this line, the first line, I believe it is. The Lord is enshrined in the hearts of all. And so, how could this longing be anything but this thread guiding us? What if your longing was there to show you something important? Let yourself come into the skill of listening and just listen. Listen inwards. The bubbling up. Allow there to be space for something to bubble up. And then let's take the hands from the body and we'll bring the palms together so you can stay laying here, but we'll just bring palms together. And take the hands, the fingers just straight up towards the sky. drawing thumbs to the crown of the head, sliding the thumbs down to the forehead, letting the heels of the thumbs kind of massage down the bridge of the nose to the lips, and down the chin, down the throat to the heart space. Let the hands land at the heart space. So drawing this wisdom from above down into the heart space. And use your mind's eye, use your imagination to imagine within you the whole body. Right? If you can imagine this stream of stars. And that as you breathe, this stream of stars is rushing through the body, through the heart, through the mind. And that this stream of stars brings with it brightness, vitality, healing. And then when you're ready, you can come back seated. So however you like to get there, go ahead and come to our seat. Mhm. Yeah, good. Good work. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and end with our hands on our heart one more time. So we'll just connect inwards. Just relax the body. And then palms together in the head, bowing down towards the heart. And we end our session together with this wish that all beings everywhere have an access to this kinds of healing work, access to have this spaciousness of attention inwards and these simple movements to move the energy throughout the body. And we'll end Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Hmm. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah, good, good, good,
Uh,
good, good,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I needed that.
good. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, there's something about just being still for a long time. Yeah, yeah, good. Well, I'm gonna send an email with some little follow-up for today's work. You're welcome to play with or not play with, and we'll be together again next Sunday.
Okay, great. Thanks, Serena.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to see you. I'm so glad that you're on the mend.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Looks like we lost Susan, but I'll tell her goodbye later.
Okay.
All right. Bye.